Alright, so up next we have Metroid Samus Returns on 3DS by jwillyverse.
Hey everybody, how are y'all? Pretty excited for this run. Just let me know when to begin. Alright, let's go. Alright, so at the beginning of every speed run of a Samus Returns run, we have to you have to start a new game. So this is just going to tell us about the first time Samus has encountered the Metroids, which was on planet Zebes. And then we'll get straight to SR388. So the story behind this is, after Mother Brain tried to take over basically the entire universe with the Metroids, the Galactic Federation deemed them unfit to actually be able to live in the universe at all or exist. So they sent Federation troopers to the Metroid homeworld to try to eradicate them all, which they didn't come back. So they ended up hiring Samus to actually investigate to see what happened to the troopers and to take down and to destroy the Metroids herself. So we have a melee button here, which is going to be our Y button. We can melee any enemy in the game. There's certain enemies that we will melee versus certain enemies we're just going to take hits from. One of the cool things about this game in particular is there's a checkpoint system. It's actually the first time that's ever been introduced in a Metroid game itself. If I were to die at a Metroid, let's say, or a boss fight, then it would put me outside the room of that Metroid or boss fight. So essentially you don't even need to save the game if you're going to sit down and beat it in one sitting. There's a lot of interesting glitches coming up here. So this in particular right here is a Metroid pedestal. When you destroy a Metroid, there's actually DNA that you have to bring back to that pedestal to end up lowering the acid so you can venture further into SR388. Here we're going to do a skip called Scan Pole Skip. We're just pushing Samus a little bit further up into the ceiling. Right there, got it. And then we're going to clip down here. We just interrupted Samus's falling animation so that she could clip through the ground. Then we'll just run over here to activate the cutscene for the Metroid to appear. And then we'll kill our first Metroid. So this is basically just a little tutorial spot to get you used to the buttons and everything, and the mechanics of the game. So whenever we kill all the Metroids in an area, we'll actually be greeted with that famous cutscene every time to show that we've killed all the Metroids, telling us to take it back to the pedestals. Pretty much hacks, like... Yes, I will be reading chat. Charge beam will open these doors that aren't charged yet, so essentially giving them power. First energy tank of the game. And with that, we'll return our very first Metroid DNA so we can venture further. I was literally about to hit my split. Not used to not running without a timer on my own. No, we got Scan Pole Skip, Nevion. Alright, so here, these little pedestals that just activated from that cutscene that we were just standing on, those are going to play a big role in this game. They're actually teleporters that we'll actually be using to get further into basically backtracking to areas that we'll have to backtrack to, which would be faster than running. So we'll be seeing a couple of those in this run. There's nothing really special about Area 1. It's just, except for the scenery. The scenery is gorgeous and everything, so this is really it. This is where we're going to be collecting some of the major upgrades, obviously. What's interesting in the original M2, you actually start out with Morph Ball, but I forgot to mention that. It's a little late, but still interesting nonetheless why they decided to make it an item at the beginning of the game rather than starting with it. And we'll grab bombs. Yeah, and you also start from missiles in this game. Appreciate that, Nevion. Thank you. There's another one of those pedestals, but we will not be using it in this area in particular. Get that snipe. We're going to Morph Ball here to fall just a tad bit faster. It's similar to Moonfall in Super Metroid, if anyone's familiar with that. And Ice Beam. For some reason, Samus coming to the planet to the Metroid's homeworld. She did not equip herself with the item that she needs to beat them. Ooh. You can quick morph, but I failed it there, obviously, from what y'all saw. Okay, so this game introduces Spider Ball. The original M2 did the same. Spider Ball allowed you to cling to any surface in this game, rather than in the Prime games where you're only allowed to climb metal, anything metal or magnetic. Spider Ball just attaches itself to anything in this game, so it's really good for exploration. Also, it's the most broken item in the game. You're going to see that in Area 2. Get that little time save there. Alright, so our first Metroid of Area 1, we're going to freeze it before it can get past us, shoot a couple of missiles, and then we're going to melee it. And what I'm going to do here is alternate between missiles and Ice Beam for a quicker kill. Alright, so now we've collected pretty much every upgrade in this area, so now it's just time to finish off all the Metroids. So we're actually going to do a little quick backtrack here, because we needed an item to even continue into Area 1. All Metroids are RNG in this game, but it's really interesting because you can actually snipe these Metroids right here. As soon as you enter the room, you can just jump and hit them with a Ice Beam so they'll lunge at you so you can get a quicker kill. Alright, one more Metroid, or two more Metroids, sorry, for this area. Then we'll be on to Area 2. Got to turn some enemies into platforms. I should also explain, Ice Beam is way different in this game than it was for other Metroid games. Wow, messed that up. Let's go ahead and destroy that. Essentially, all it's doing is freezing. It's only meant to be used to kill Metroids or to make enemies platforms. We're going to go ahead and stop the Metroid. We're not going to melee that one because it's quicker to actually kill it this way. So even charged ice shots, it will take a long time to even kill an enemy with the ice beam. Try to get the bonks here. Nice. Alright, this one's always fun to do. Let's see if we can get it. It's a snipe, and we nailed it. This is the last alpha. It's known as alpha. I should have explained that earlier. There's different stages of Metroid evolutions. So this was actually be like the second stage of the evolution. We'll be seeing more alphas throughout the game. Alright, so now we'll just return all the DNA to the pedestal. Ooh, horrible platforming. Alright, so we're gonna go through this heated room. You take a risk coming through here because you could die, but it's a whole lot quicker than running it back the regular way. Saves a couple of seconds. Missed the snipe. Here's this quick morph I was telling you about. You press jump and hit the touchscreen at the same time. Have to hit this missile. Alright, so elevator to area 2. This is where you're going to see the biggest glitch in the entire game that we will be using throughout the rest of the game, really. In certain areas it's worth it, and others not. So remember when I said that those pedestals will activate almost every single area? We can actually skip that pedestal from activating by doing what we call spider clipping. It's where you activate Spider Ball and get on the edge of a save station, an elevator, or a refill station. And it pushes Samus through the floor. We're not exactly sure why it works, but it comes in handy in a lot of areas. So now introducing now is a fire alpha, which is a whole lot stronger than our regular alphas that we were used to. So what I'm going to do here is activate a little, I want to say it's like a glitch. Every time Samus is in the water, it actually makes the melee longer for any type of Metroid. It's very interesting why that happens, but it also lets you get the one phase on fire alphas, which is really nice and saves a lot of time. Alright, so introducing Aeon abilities. That's what we actually skipped the first time with Scan Pulse Skip. Should have explained, Scan Pulse Skip actually just allows you to see blocks that could be broken or hidden paths. Lightning Armor, however, is our second Aeon ability, which makes us impervious to all attacks with a price. We have an Aeon meter now, which can run out. If it runs out, then obviously we can't use our Aeon ability, essentially making Samus broken, though. She can run through enemies now and not have to worry about taking any damage until she actually runs out or we turn it off. So that we'll actually be seeing a lot of that through the rest of the run as well. There's so many sectors to Area 2, so we're going to go to the upper section now. There is a boss fight in Area 2, but it's quicker to do at the end of the game, because essentially you can just one-shot it. His name is Arachnus. So we're just going to run through, showing off the lightning armor, what it can do. We're going to do a spin jump there to destroy it. Quick morph. Alright, so remember when I said that that Samus could be in water and it makes the cutscene longer? Since this one isn't a fire alpha and it's a regular alpha, we're just going to go ahead and prevent meleeing it by stopping it by shooting it with a missile, and then just switching from ice beam to missiles. It's actually quicker to kill it this way as well. We have a total of 18 missiles. We need 18 to kill the next alpha, but I'm just going to grab some more for insurance right there, just in case we do miss a shot. Because we're coming up on now what we call a runner. Metroid can run away once it takes enough damage, so we actually want to prevent that. So we're going to be doing a little setup here that is actually going to prevent it from running away. Freeze it and shoot. What's up, Lance? I am a nerd, bro. Don't you know? Alright, so we're out of Aeon now, but we have missiles that we need. 16 missiles. Oh, gotcha. My bad. Sorry about that. Alright, so this is actually my favorite section of Area 2, because, number one, we get the best suit ever in a Metroid game. We're going to come up here, and we're going to grab Varia's suit. Alright, so Varia's suit is basically an upgrade to Samus' suit. In this game, well, in every game, it protects against heat damage, so famously said in other M, but it also makes our defenses 25% higher, so we run less risk of dying, essentially. Get that, or run out of Aeon. I was hoping for drops, but that's okay, we got plenty of missiles. Alright, so we're actually coming up on the next phase of Metroid. So there's an alpha, now there is a gamma. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna try this strat here that this is actually quicker, I'm glad he did that. We could have meleeed, but it's quicker to kill him this way. It's just a few seconds faster, nothing crazy. But it's nice when he acts right because he's complete RNG. Like every single other Metroid in this game, besides Area 1s where you can actually control what they do by just sniping them. Ooh, did not see that coming. It's going to cost me a little bit of time. Was not managing Aeon well. That's okay though. Oh, I was trying to do the quick morph there. Didn't work out for me. Alright, so Wave Beam. Wave Beam obviously can travel through walls. Also makes our Aeon ability, well, actually I'll explain that later. We don't have that Aeon ability yet. Never mind, got ahead of myself. Kill this so we can actually grab some missiles and a little bit of Aeon. We're going to do another spider clip here. This can save us a little time in platforming. It all depends on like the positioning of Samus and how you control the analog stick. Like the rotation of the analog stick plays a big role in getting that clip. And high jump boots. Whoops. Oh, no. Alright, so we actually get to use one of these teleporters now. We're going to go back to the elevator we went down to actually grab Varia's suit. 3 more Metroids for this area. Alright, so we're going to do our last spider clip for Area 2. We can clip right here at this pedestal. And keep holding right, that way you'll fall into a Metroid room. and avoid a lot of platforming. This saves like a minute, and it's very easy to get. So once again, we're going to stop his melee, and we're just going to alternate between Ice Beam and missiles for the quick kill. Hopefully these enemies drop some missiles here, because we really need them. Okay, cool. 13. It's good enough. Alright, this is an interesting Metroid. If you just hang on to this ledge, sometimes he'll act right, and he did. We can just do this for a quicker kill. Because normally he'll go into like a little lightning attack where he just hovers around shooting lightning balls, and it's just really unpredictable because he'll keep switching from left to right and everything really fast. So it's nice that he actually acted right, because for the past couple of days he hasn't acted right in runs at all. And we'll get the snipe. This one's also a runner. So we're going to prevent that. One more alpha for this area, and then we'll head on to the hardest area of the game, which will be Area 3. That area kills a lot of runs, and there's a lot of Metroids that will run away from you. Gonna jump over here and conserve Aeon, because we're going to need it. Please? Thank you. Okay. It's really bad. We'll recover, though. Another fire alpha. Okay, so since we skipped that pedestal, we're actually not going to get the cutscene telling us to deliver all the Metroid back to the Metroid pedestal. So we get to run that out, and in a speed run, it saves 10 seconds. And we'll get to use the teleporter once again to go back to the beginning. Use some lightning armor so we don't take any damage from enemies. Activate the pedestal and then just put the DNA in. Okay, so Area 3 is loaded with gammas. There's only about 2 alphas here. And the gammas now are super overpowered because now they're fire gammas as well. And majority of them will run away. So there is a way to prevent that as well, but you just have to be very careful on what you do to them so that they don't take enough damage to where they will run away. So this is a run killer area. So we're going to do our best here. Can't tell you how many times this has actually ruined runs. And now we'll get our third Aeon ability. This third Aeon ability is actually what's going to help us deal with these running Metroids and actually get one phase on them. One phase I mean by we're just going to kill them in one phase once they melee us. So consider Beam Burst like submachine gun. Samus's gun is just now shooting super like rapid fire basically, and we actually need Beam Burst to destroy those Metroid eggs right there. Ooh, whoops. Okay, so this is where we're actually going to be doing a lot of strategies with Beam Burst and Aeon ability so that we can just run through enemies without taking any hits or to lose any time. We're going to come down here and activate that pedestal. Now, this will be the last major item of Area 3. Well, I shouldn't say major item. Unfortunately, I'm very saddened by this, but Grapple Beam never really played much of a role in this game. But, it's there. Nobody knows why, but, I mean, all it is for to break these. That's it, little grapple blocks that are going to be in the way that prevent you from getting past anything in certain areas. So unfortunately, you can't skip this item. Do some noob jumping. I'm really not good with high jump. Like, when I have high jump, I can't bomb jump for anything. Unless I morph while jumping. Ooh, tried to get the snipe. Didn't work. And now we're just going to fall really, really fast. We're coming up on a runner alpha, or excuse me, runner gamma. Very first gamma of this area. He's got 3 rooms he can appear in. We're hoping, if RNG is good, then we're hoping he's going to appear on the bottom room. Go ahead and activate Beam Burst over here. Have Ice Beam ready. And unfortunately, he's not there. He's actually way at the top. Which will cost a couple of seconds, but oh well. Nothing you can really do. We're going to go ahead and do... Oh, missed him. Get that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start shooting him with Beam Burst. Oh. Don't want him to get away. Kind of messed that up, so... But we did recover. We saved it. As long as he didn't break that ice that was underneath his belly, he will not run away into another room. So, that's my fault. I really need to be careful with the rest of the gammas. So that was a pretty good save. Okay, now it's just some basic Metroid platforming. Go back to the elevator that we ran past. Give us missiles. Thank you. Alright, so we're about to do another cool trick. It's not involving spider clipping at all. This game is very broken. You can get out of bounds very easily with certain items and certain enemies. It's called ice clipping. So, I will demonstrate that and I'll do my best to explain how it works really quick. So we're going to do it off this toad. We're going to want him to melee us. We're going to be about right... Ooh. Kind of messed that up. Come on. Still messed it up. He's not going to push us out of bounds. We want Samus's foot to be right there on that last one. If you're counting from the left to the right, we want him to be on that third one. Come on. And nope. Guess I should not have done that the first time. That's okay. We'll just have to wait for it to unfreeze because this saves a lot of time. Alright, so we freeze it behind that diamond, and for some reason it will push Samus out of bounds. It'll push her through the wall so we can actually jump out of bounds. We're bypassing a lot of platforming to end up in a Metroid room. If we get hit once by that Metroid, we're dead. I'm gonna melee it for insurance purposes here. There's only 3 ice clips in the game now that we're going to be doing. Trying to get the quick morph, failed it. And now we'll just run it back. Unfortunately, our health is very, very low. We're going to be risking it here. If I miss that... Wow, we are actually very fortunate to make that. We need health pretty bad now. We got good Aeon. We should be good now. We'll get the refill here. Alright, so another runner Metroid coming up is going to be another Gamma. We're going to try and get this snipe. Got it. That's what I mean by one phase right there. Here's what I'm going to do for this. Since there's kind of a delay with my microphone, I'm going to plug this into my DS. That way I can actually get the melees better on these Gammas, because we don't want one running away. Alright, this one's just going to be waiting in a room for us. For some reason they put him in this room. They can pass through all that, so... The interesting part, what makes the Metroids evolve, I should have explained this, is that the Aeon actually makes them evolve. I'm gonna take the bonk. It's actually quicker to kill this guy this way instead of wait for the melee. Whoops. Ah, try to jump over him. Gonna go ahead and do that just to get some energy here. Alright, so now we're gonna use the pedestal. Well, not right there, it wasn't quicker because I let him get too far away from me. But it's like a second, like 2 seconds faster. Because you're not having to wait for the cutscene to be over. Okay, so now we'll actually go back to the pedestal that we activated the first time into Area 3. And we're going to be venturing further down into Area 3, which is going to have a lot of heavy hitter Gammas at this point. It's going to have the 2 fire Gammas I talked about. Oh, you're talking about the Aeon. Okay, I thought you meant the cutscene thing. My fault. Unfortunately, we've tried to rework Area 3 in terms of, like, routing, but unfortunately, this is still the fastest route, it seems. Aeon's good. Health was good until we did that. Alright, let's get this snipe on this Gamma. That way we can kill it quicker. Nice. Jump over him to get the ice attack. If we don't get the one phase, then he still takes a minute to recover, so you can actually jump on top of his head and hit him. Missiles do not look good. Missiles are actually really bad, so what we're gonna have to do is, unfortunately, we're gonna have to do like a little safety strat here coming up. Ooh, tried to hit him. Missile's looking a little bit better. I might actually try this. Let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna go ahead and get the snipe on this one. And Aeon's looking good, so there we go. Alternate between the missiles and beam burst. It's a very OP combo. Missiles are looking good again. Health is looking great. We're going to kill this guy to get some extra missiles, hopefully. And we don't. We actually get a little bit more Aeon in health, which is fine. But we have our very first Fire Gamma coming up. He's not a runner, though, but he is strong. He's actually in one of these rooms like the other one was. And he hits like a truck. That is true. Big old semi-truck, matter of fact. He takes a lot of damage if he hits you. We're going to roll over here so we can get him in this corner. Specifically, that move is what hits. I got him in a very bad position. Did not mean to, so we're going to... Hopefully he gives us the long melee, but he didn't. Going to wait for him to turn around. And unfortunately, we didn't do enough damage to him to the point. Except for now. I'm glad that did not land on us. Hello, Janich. Thanks for joining, man. Great runs, by the way. But we got past them, so that's all that counts. There's one more Fire Gamma for this area. I'm going to play it safe here because we're going to need our health. Because we're actually going to be going to do that Fire Gamma right now. This one's a pain because it has 3 rooms that it can run into. So there's actually a little different strat that we're going to be using. For one, we're going to get some Aeon here, and we're going to refill missiles. Missiles are now looking a whole lot better than they were before. So far, we've had a pretty decent Area 3. Alright, this is actually going to be a boss fight later that you can bid war on, whether or not we save this boss or we kill him. It's called Diggernaut. Diggernaut is a gigantic robot that was left by the Chozo when they first came to this planet and searching, basically digging up the planet to search for things and such stuff like that. So, it's a pretty cool robot, but sees us as an enemy. Okay, so unfortunately, he's going to be way down here in a room that you really don't want this Metroid in. It's a pain. Oh, actually, wait a minute. He's not down here. He's actually up at the top. I didn't even look at my Metroid counter. I could have sworn it didn't go off. That's my fault. He's actually over here. Still another room that you really don't want him in, just because it takes time to bomb these away. He'll appear. We shot him 4 times, at least 5. Fortunately, I froze him in a bad spot, so we'll have to wait for him to get over here. You want to shoot his underbelly, since he's a runner. You want to shoot his underbelly with at least 4 missiles, then freeze, and then go to beam burst with while he's charging up his melee, and then melee him, and then just alternate between beam burst and missiles. This will ensure the kill, so he does not run away, and you have to chase him down. I will explain, when a Gamma runs away from you after a bunch of damage, it actually goes into another room and it actually heals up a bit. So you actually have to put just a little bit more damage into him. And he can get away again. So you want to try to prevent that as much as possible. Now I'm happy to announce that we don't have to worry about runners anymore. There's no more runners, it's just regular old Metroids that will stay in their own respective rooms. Appreciate it. It was a decent 1 cycle. Wasn't that bad. I'm actually happy with it. I'm glad he didn't get away. Alright, this is going to be our Gamma as well. He's a regular one. I'm just going to shoot him there. Should be done. Maybe not. Okay, now we'll just do that then. Guess I didn't hit him with 1 more missile, probably would have done it. Keep practicing, Fanatic. You'll get it. I have a bad habit of interacting with chat during marathons. I've been advised not against Toko, but in other marathons I've been advised against it, but I just can't help it. I enjoy talking to people. Fortunately, that ice cliff cost us a lot of time. We're still on decent pace. Pretty much we're just going to go ahead and activate Beam Burst, and this poor little alpha doesn't even know what hit him. Since we can't skip the pedestal, we do get this cutscene. And hopefully y'all can't hear this, but there's a dog whimpering in the background, and I do apologize. Alright, so now on to Area 4-1. At this point in a speedrun, it's not Area 3 anymore that you would really have to worry about if you were trying to go for a world record. It is actually Area 4-2, with a new clip that was found recently in 2018 that can save a lot of time in a speedrun, but it requires first try. The world record of this run actually gets it first try, so you would have to do this if you wanted to actually get world record in this game. We will be showing that soon. We're going to be trying to do that. Not a world record, but we're going to be showing off that trick. It's pretty fun to do if you can get it. I'm not sure if the dog will stop. That's hilarious. Alright, so what we're going to do here is to save some Aeon and some, actually just to save Aeon, if I can get this spider clip. I'm going way too fast. Probably should have just ran this out. There it is. Just avoids a lot of acid and an enemy that can take a lot of Aeon. Alright, so now we're actually off to get a different beam. HEDQ memories. That was a great run by Shasta. Alright, so now for the Spazer Beam. The Spazer Beam actually boosts up the Beam Burst by quite a bit's power. It's insane of how powerful Beam Burst actually gets. So against like alphas or gammas that are fire that can run away, they'll we don't actually have to hit them with missiles anymore before freezing them. We can just go ahead and freeze them now from how strong Beam Burst just got. Not only that, if you were to skip Plasma Beam and go to the end of the game, Ridley himself is only 30 seconds long. For some reason, Spazer is actually stronger against Ridley than Plasma. Basic platforming here. I shouldn't even turned off lightning armor. Alright, switch there. Got everything we need to activate. Hopefully, we'll, why not both of what? Going to be doing this really quick. We're going to jump during that cutscene right there because it's going to push us back. I accidentally jumped on top, so it actually would have pushed us back to the place we need to bomb under the floor. Metroid Fanatic just found a new clip if he clipped through a bat. Might actually just broken the game even more. Because that's not known to be able to clip through bats. Or to use them to get out of bounds. Being serious. Spacer and Plasma, Super Metroid fans getting confused now. Alright, so we delivered that. We're actually still in Area 4. Alright, so we're actually going to be doing that trick here in just a second. I don't even know why I did that. Got confused with this part. Alright, last energy tank of the game. We'll only have 3 energy tanks. That's what is all we'll need. Alright, so that cool little clip I was telling you about is actually coming up here shortly. I'm only going to give this probably at least 3 tries. I'm actually going to hook my headset back up to the microphone because this is the only way I'll be able to do this. It's a really interesting trick, but it's fun to do if you can get it. Position desync. Alright, so Diggernaut came in here, that gigantic robot we released, and stole Space Jump. Yes, it can actually steal items. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a safety save. We would run through this by giving a chase sequence. The robot would actually chase us, and if he hits us one time, we die. But we can actually clip right here, unmore fast into that tunnel, even though we missed it, and jump over there and start bomb jumping in the dark. If done correctly, you can actually end up in the room above and grab Space Jump way quicker than intended. Only problem is you have to spider clip it. I'm hoping I can show this off for y'all. There it is. It's not over. Alright, we got it. We got to do the second part now. Alright, we got it. That's the clip. That is called Digger Chase Skip. It saves, if you can get it on the first try, it saves exactly a minute. But it's still a nice trick to still do. We'll still save a couple of seconds here by doing this. So we'll actually run down here to where the chase would end. And for some reason, Space Jump is sitting right there. The game automatically assumes that you have done this chase sequence for whatever reason. If you hit last checkpoint, or we would to die right now, we would actually soft lock the entire game, and we would not be able to continue, and it would be a rip run. If you die, because that would be the last checkpoint that you would go to. But thankfully, we're not going to die, so. It would be really hard to die right here. You'd have to actually be wanting to die. Not only that, we get one of the most OP items in the game too, which is Super Missiles. Super Missiles in this game, correct me Nephion if I'm wrong, does 6 times the damage than a normal missile. Nice. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and get our super missile. There'll be a total of 9 super missiles by the end of the run. Right. Oh, wrong one. Right there. I missed the super missile, so this is actually going to be really bad in a sense. So we're going to have to really make up for that. We're going to want him over here, so let him do that lunge. Oh no. Oh, thank God. Nice. I did not mean to miss that. Let me go ahead and hook back up this because this thing is desynced. We want our sync. We want to be able to hear those melees. We only wanted the desync for Digger Chase Skip. For some reason I can only do that like when it's desynced. Don't ask me why. Get up there. Go ahead and activate lightning armor. We're pretty short on health here. Pretty low, I should say. Sorry, not short. Alright, so another super missile. Need to be very careful. Unfortunately, we're really low on super missiles and Aeon, which is going to make this next fight a pain. We're coming up on another evolution of Metroids. And we're gonna kill this guy because we need to, for one. Hoping for super missile drops. We only have 3 and dude, 5 health. Not good. Can we clutch this? Let's clutch it. We got 5 health. Can we clutch it? This fight is really going to take a while. This is called a Zeta Metroid, sorry. Oh, maybe. And we clutched it. Let's go. Let's go. Ooh. Alright, so can we clutch this? This is really scary. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually really scary. We need the super missile. Oh man. Oh lord. Oh lord. I'm sweating bullets. Oh. We have one more Metroid for this area. We have to go back to 4-1 now. And that was 4-2 we were in, now we're back in 4-1. We have no Aeon, so we're gonna have to take the time to kill this guy. That is true, Fanatic. This feels like 0% right now. Let's hope we get this. Alright, cool. Yeah, that had me sweating bullets there for a second. Get some energy here. Get that quick morph. Tried to do it again, didn't work. Alright. This poor little alpha's not going to know what hit him if we get him right. Poor little thing's dead. Now that we have super missiles, alphas are no problem at all. We no longer have to wait for them to melee or anything like that. We can just destroy them with super missiles. Rest in peace, Alpha. Rip alphas in the chat. Let's go. Alright, so area 4-1 and 4-2 is complete. Let's just go return the DNA and we'll go to my most favorite area of the game. It's like the best part of the game is Area 5 in my opinion. Area 5 just has some great music that every Metroid fan is going to love. I'm gonna kill this guy and just space jump over this acid. Acid in here is super OP. It's insane. Alright, so just some little basic platform, well, not platforming, but just little morph ball tunnels. Alright, so let's go ahead and go and get our next super missile here. Have to be careful because we can get trapped in that little tunnel I have. Alright, so that makes 8 super missiles so far. Remember, I said we'll have 9. So let me go ahead and say this. We'll have a total of 3 energy tanks, 30 missiles, and 9 super missiles. Oh, you can get back out. Okay. Alright, we're going to spider clip here to try to... There we go. We're going to avoid this from activating this platform. That way we can save the 10 seconds. And now we'll fall right in this area. We need to activate this pedestal. Alright, let's put Rip in the chat for this alpha. He's done. Alright, cool. This will actually bring up our last Aeon ability, which is a very cool Aeon ability, I must say. Probably my second favorite Aeon ability. This is called Phase Drift. Phase Drift slows down time around Samus, but Samus remains her normal speed. So enemies are slowed down. It's really cool. It's kind of like the clock in Super Smash Brothers, essentially. Makes everyone else slow except for the user that's using it. So it's really cool. We'll be using a little bit of that for Metroid strats, not a lot though. But I'm trying to work on new strategies for it. Hit this so we don't get hit by any of these fireballs. Now we could skip gravity and plasma. So, but we're not going to. It is a little bit faster, but everything in the run has to go right. You get a lot of major upgrades in this area alone. I think that's why I like it so much. But yeah, it does make the game a lot harder. There's just a lot more to avoid. No, we will not be doing that in this marathon. I have no practice with it. It is very hard to do, and a bunch of stuff could go wrong. And it involves way more clipping than what the normal route would be that we use now. Alright, so Plasma Beam coming up. I love the music for Area 5. Alright, so this item's broken too. You're about to find out why. We're about to do something called Gravity Early. We can actually phase right through this. Oh, well, if I can get it right. And we missed it. This saves time as well. Just have to load in the room right here, end up on the other side of the wall. So basically you're interrupting Samus's climbing animation with phase drift. If you deactivate it as soon as she's climbing, she will clip through a breakable block. That's the only thing we know it works on at the moment is blocks that break. Yeah, Nephion is the one that came up with that route. If we're talking about the skipping gravity and plasma. Alright, so here's the problem with doing this little trick. Now there is what we... Ooh, okay, well, let's hope we get this. Nice, okay, cool. That was the problem. There's actually a monster on that door that can only be killed with plasma. But if you stand like I was standing and point the arm cannon towards the door behind you, and you shoot upwards in a fast motion with the analog stick moving up and down, it can destroy that enemy that's blocking that door. Nice. Alright, so you're actually going to be able to see phase drift in action at this point. This is what I mean, we'll use them on some of these Metroids. So we just have to get this snipe. Missed it. That's fine, he can land up there. We just want to be able to kill him fast. I don't care that I took a hit, but we also want some Aeon left over, so that's why I turned it off. Because we're going to want this activated now. We're going to want Lightning Armor and Beam Burst at this point, so we can avoid some enemies from hitting us. We'll get the snipe there, shoot, and now we'll avoid this enemy's attack. Move over just a little bit, and we'll fall all the way, well, fall all the way down here. Let's get the snipe. Alright, so this is going to be the best item in the game, in my opinion. Unfortunately, it did get nerfed like huge, like big time versus other Metroid games. You guys know and love this item probably as much as I do, and it is the screw attack. For some enemies, it will one-shot them, but it's been toned down a lot, so there's only certain enemies that can be one-shotted. But to explain the route just a little bit, if you were to skip Gravity Suit, you would have to ice clip off that toad to get inside the screw attack room. Alright. And for that, let's face our Zeta. Ah, we missed it. That's okay, we're actually going to let him land on top of us, which is fine too. Screw attack. Gonna hit him. Alright, so there's one more Metroid for this little area right here that we're in right now. Another phase drift strat. Poor little guy doesn't even know what hit him now. So basically, we're very OP by the time we get to this point in the game. Phase drift is OP, making Metroids a cinch now. So Gammas and really Zetas are no longer any trouble because we have the moves we need to beat them very quickly. And now we will leave this area right here and go to the right. So when I was coming up, if you were to go to the left, you would be going back to the plasma room, but now we're going to be going to the right, where there's a Zeta Metroid that requires screw attack to get to it. Or you could, you know, spider clip underneath that elevator and just use space jump to get to them. But it's a lot slower. Gonna need some Aeon here. Perfect. These exploding bugs right here will take a full energy tank. Those things are very powerful. So we want to avoid them at all costs. We don't want to lose any energy tanks. Go ahead and activate our Aeon abilities. Have this. Now we're at a Fire Zeta. This is the first time we actually run into one of these things. Okay, he's not acting right at all. And he's going for the worst attack. This attack is super strong. We could die now. We could essentially die. I'm messing up my buttons here. Yeah, but we got him. That's fine. Nerf. It was nerfed. Yeah, sadly that is the only Fire Alpha that we actually run into the entire game. Very strange why they only put one, considering that they are really fun to fight. They're complete RNG, but they're very fun to fight. We have 2 more Metroids for Area 5. Both are Gammas. We do have another Fire Gamma. Whoops. There goes that full energy tank I was talking about. Care about taking damage here. This one's honestly not that bad. Nice. That went well. Alright, so one more Metroid for this area. Again, we pretty much have... We have one more major item of the game, but that's y'all's choice on whether we grab it or not, if we meet the donation incentives to actually kill Digger or spare. So we're almost at that. So now's the time. This one's pretty satisfying to do. Oh no! Did not mean to do that. That's fine though. I will explain. You can one-shot Digger. You can one-hit KO Digger not. Alright, so now we'll just go and return all the Metroids to the the DNA to the pedestal and go to Area 6-1. Area 6-1 and Area 6-2 are very broken areas. You actually will not see all of the platforming at all in that game, or in those areas, because we're going to be spider clipping to get past all of them. And landing in the Metroid rooms themselves to make it faster. That is the last missile tank of the game. Just going to take some damage to the acid right here. It's a little bit quicker. But no, Queen is actually slower to kill, but faster to kill with power bombs. You can kill Queen without power bombs. So we're going to spider clip here. It's a little bit faster for the elevator because there's some platforming that you have to do with a little bit of puzzles. So it's actually just faster to just go underneath the floor and get right here. Digger can be one-shotted. Alright, once I complete Area 6-1, and I'll let you know, Distant Stars Care, I need to know if we are sparing Digger, killing Digger, sparing Queen, or killing Queen. So this is Area 6-1 now. We're clipping up underneath the floor right here to avoid a lot of platforming. When I get right here, we're just going to start spamming pretty much space jump and holding left. We'll load this room, and then we'll just keep going left. And now we'll hit the morph ball and end up in the Metroid room itself. This overall saves about almost 2 minutes, I would say, of platforming. I got a donation to spare the Queen. Perfect. I was actually supposed to clip out. But that's okay, we're gonna run it through. So for Digger, are we sparing it or killing it? Now is the time to let me know, because after Area 6-2, that's where that boss fight would be. I would rather just know now to prepare ahead. Alright, so this is one of these cool clips right here. We'll actually use this bug to get out of bounds. It's a really sharp window right there because you can clip back in bounds. But this is going to lead us straight up to a new Metroid evolution room. This is called an Omega Metroid. It is a very strong Metroid. He's complete RNG. We did not want him doing that attack. We wanted a fire attack or a slash attack. He now has a protective shield on his underbelly that we need to knock off before we can actually do any more damage to him. Missed a few shots there, which is fine. He's going to try and melee us. That's what we want. Kill Digger. Will do. That's actually a very fun thing we're about to do here. We're going to tank these hits so we can get a faster kill. It's always best to tank hits if you feel comfortable doing it. Now, since we did this clip, there is something blocking our way, which would be a grapple point, a grapple block that we can't get out of the way. Now, thanks to this little clip coming up, we'll actually be able to do that. We're going to be clipping off of a bug that you just saw. We're going to be clipping off another one so we can actually get to that grapple point. We have to freeze this one at a certain point so we can actually get out of bounds. That was actually just a little bit off. Jump out there. This should be it. Oh, nope. Okay. Accidentally killed him. Screw attack. Good job. About right there. Nope. Okay. Screw attack. Good job again. We're 2-0 for screw attack. Will we strike out? And we did. We struck out. Don't worry. We will get this. This is a very easy clip. I'm just messing it up. and I keep doing that for some reason. There we go. Alright, so you want lightning armor because you need to stay out of bounds here. If you clip back in bounds, it's really hard to get back out because there is a way, it's just really hard to do so. So we actually got it. Here's that grapple block. Now we will proceed as normal, like we should have to begin with, but, you know, we like to break things in this game. It's very fun to do. Activate the pedestal and return the Omega Metroid DNA. Alright, so y'all wanted it, y'all are getting it. We're fighting Digger, and we will one-shot him. I practiced this enough, and I'm pretty sure that we'll get this on the first try. Alright, so I'm just going to do some jumping there. I could have stopped all that from them coming up with beam burst, but that's okay. We're going to clip through here. Going to activate a cutscene here, or a clip, and then we're just going to be pretty much just space jumping to the left. There should be a pinkish area coming in, or a bright pink area. I shouldn't say pinkish, but it's a bright pink area coming in that will space jump just a little bit further out, and we should land in a morph ball tunnel. So it should be about right here. Ah, that's okay, because we can still do this. We're not soft locked or anything like that. Had we went a little bit further, then we would have been, but that's okay. Just gonna take some time to get back out of bounds. We're gonna avoid all that though. We're gonna clip at this elevator. Mind you, in a speedrun, Digger does not need to be fought, but this is a really cool trick to do. If we can get the spider clip, there we go. Prepare to be amazed, he says, if we can get it. Fortunately, I've never had this happen, so I actually do not know where I am. That's not good. This happened last time, and I hate to say this, but this might soft lock the game to where we can't continue. Oof. We can't one-shot Digger. We did the clip wrong, and I do apologize for that. Oof. This is embarrassing. We can do this Digger fight. That's no problem. It's just going to take a little bit longer, but we'll still meet that time frame. Now, to be honest, I didn't practice this boss fight fully. Because like I said, you could one-shot him, but let me go ahead and explain. Remember the whole space jump thing we did? You can actually do the same thing with power bombs if you end up in this floor. You got to end up underneath the floor, and power bombs for some reason will be loaded in. You shoot the sphere, go out outside of the room, and then start this boss fight, and power bombs will load in. Essentially one-shotting him. But so, we're going to kill him the normal way now. I was really hoping to show that trick. It's really fun to do. But that's okay. We should be fine here. We're getting a lot of supers. This is what we want. We're saving our Aeon ability for the last. So luckily I do know how to do this fight. I'm just very unseasoned in it. But we will get this. We won't have any hiccups. Problem is, if we die here, like I said, we could potentially soft lock the entire game without being able to complete it. Give ourselves a little insurance there. We're going to activate Beam Burst, something I wouldn't do against this boss in particular, but we want all the energy tanks we can get since I'm still unseasoned. We will clutch this, I promise. Alright, so this is the least favorite thing of Digger. This is his troll side. This would be his second phase, if you will. He's pretty deadly here for the fact he's really annoying. Because he likes to do this. And it's a pain trying to time that. Alright, so we have one shot at this. We can beat him here if we do this correctly. We want to be here. No, well, I messed up. I went the wrong way. That is my fault. We can still beat him. It's just going to be a pain. Alright, let's go. We have to deal with this move again. Let's see if we can protect ourselves here, and it does. Sometimes that does not work for me for some reason. Ah, there he is. There's Digger. Alright, so he's dead. Give Digger a fair chance. I didn't want to give him a fair chance. After all the pain and misery he's put everyone through. Alright, let's clip out of here. We've clutched a lot tonight. Honestly, Digger could have killed us there. He takes a lot of damage. He hits like a truck. And we want to be right here when we fall back into bounds. That way we'll end up at the elevator. Alright. So, now, since we're sparing Queen, we're going to save a lot of time, but we still have Area 7 to do. Area 7 has 3 Omegas. One is a Fire Omega. The hardest Metroid in the game, technically, besides Queen. So this is going to be very fun. Luckily, there's no way to soft lock from here. You're safe. So that room loading in for some odd reason, like it did, if I were to have hit last checkpoint, it would have taken us back to Area 6-2's final Metroid. But the Metroid actually's DNA would not be with us, so we couldn't take it back to the pedestal, and nor would the Metroid have spawned in, essentially soft locking the entire game. This is the Fire Omega I was telling you about. It's the hardest one. We shouldn't have any problems here. We're just going to play it a little bit safe, I think. Oh, wow, actually, never mind. We have exactly... Oh, we did have almost 3 energy tanks. We're going to avoid this final attack. Normally, I'd clutch this. I'm glad he did that because he leaves himself wide open. I don't know why I'm not using the power bombs to break his shell since I have them. I'm so used to the any % speedrun where we don't kill Digger. Or where we don't. Unfortunately, power bombs won't do anything to him now anyway. There we go. He's dead. We have 2 more to go. Unfortunately, that cost us a lot of time having to fight Digger, so I do apologize. At least fight him the normal way. Alright, the rest are really easy Omegas, the ones we faced last time. So we shouldn't have any problems here. This time I'll remember to use power bombs. This automatically destroys the shell. So far, Area 7 is a really great area. Really shows how like sophisticated and how smart the Chozo actually were. We're gonna clutch this. He's dead. It's not a marathon if nothing goes wrong. That is true. There are plenty of clips in Area 3, but nothing to save time, Fanatic. Grab some Aeon here, and we'll go to our last Omega. Our last door that we need to shoot from behind. That's where it gets fun. Ooh, that was a... No, we do not want to lose any more Aeon here. This Omega coming up is not hard though, but I just don't want to lose any more Aeon. Alright, last Omega. Quick underbelly strats. Didn't expect that. I mean, I'll take that, that's fine. Nice. Alright, so that was the last Omega for this area. We're really going to try and speed things up here by hoping we can get to the surface. So, we're saving Queen. Queen Metroid will not be fought for this category. It is a great fight. It really is. But it's been voted the saver. Forgot to activate that. Oh, I was about to do something that I wasn't supposed to do. Nope, saves no time. Adds time. Because you gotta travel all the way back up afterwards. So it does nothing for you. We've tried it all. We'll actually wait on this little guy. Distant Star Scare, I just want to apologize because we're not going to make that 132. We're just going to be maybe 30 seconds off. Just because I messed up the digger fight, I do apologize. Alright, so spare the queen time. Let's do it. I can imagine. I mean, you can do the same thing with power bombs. You can plant a power bomb on the wall and it acts as a speed booster. And that too, it's way too much platforming. Now, are you guys ready to hear exactly why Speed Booster wasn't in this game? The developers said they did not want the game broken. We're going to do 10 space jumps and then start space jumping upwards, moving the analog stick from left to right. You want this room right here to load in. Then you're just going to keep traveling left. Then you're just going to stay in this little area right here, space jumping up. Exactly, it's like no one even bothered testing this. Now, if you do this correctly, you'll actually end up past the baby. So you don't even need to grab the baby Metroid to finish this game. If you space jump high enough, you'll end up over here. You'll just stay out of bounds. If you click back on bounds, you'll soft lock, but you can hit last checkpoint to end back up at the elevator to start again. We will not have that problem here. We're going to play it a little safe. I like to really ride the edges, but I'm going to stay up in the dark spots this time. That way we can actually finish this game, because we might actually finish right on time. Maybe. There's the elevator. Just wanted to be sure. We're going to go ahead and activate the items that we need, because there's one final boss fight. Ridley is in this game. Surprise. One last spider clip. Without spider clipping, this could not be possible. No, we did not do Arachnus because this is an 80% out of bounds glitch. We changed the category but just kept the incentives. So if had this stayed the same category, it would have been a little bit longer speed run, but we would have actually gone to face Arachnus in area 2. But since this is an 80% out of bounds glitched, then no, we do not face Arachnus in this category. He's spared as well. So about right here is where I'm going to start space jumping upwards when this little dark area starts to have like squiggly lines. And about right here you're going to want to go from left to right. And this will trigger the Ridley fight. This is the final boss fight of the game, and you have to do this boss fight to even get the end. Luckily we have our Aeon ability, which does a lot of damage to Ridley. There's one phase. Ridley has a total of 5 phases. Mess that up. Let's go. Me, I like to get up close and personal with this bad boy. There we go, second phase is down. Alright, so what we're going to want him to do is we're going to want him to fly up just like that. We'll get him stuck in this animation, which allows us to shoot him with beam bursts and super missiles more. So he'll actually do this for quite some time, and then he's going to fly back there, but he didn't get the chance. Ooh. Missed a super there, that's not good. I was actually supposed to shoot the supers already, but that's okay. We'll be alright. We're not gonna die here. Nice. Alright, final hit. Final hit. Get ready. I'll tell you when to start. Stop timer. Give it just a second. I will let you know. And time. Honestly, not a bad time, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty good. Wait, why didn't you submit your world record run? You're 123? I did submit the 123. Thanks, guys, for the GGs. Yeah, sorry, we went 1 minute over. I do apologize. I did not mean to mess up the digger clip, but great run all in all. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this run. Hopefully I can be back for the future to show more things in Samus Returns. So, thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. Thank you guys for the GGs. There's one final cutscene of the game. I can, thanks, Cart. Appreciate it. I have been recently speedrunning this game. I'm trying to get back into it, but it's been good. So thanks, guys. Much appreciated for y'all being here. Thank you. It's been great talking with you guys. Let's show what? What are we showing? Okay, we can skip these credits, so we'll go ahead and skip the credits to actually show the end cutscene, because those end credits are crazy. So we'll get our clear time. $1:23:33, not bad for in-game time. In-game time is broken though. Thank you. Sorry, it's a jolly. Hope I pronounced that right. Here's the end cutscene. It's just basically showing the purpose of Metroids. Unfortunately, this little toad's about to learn the hard way of why you shouldn't destroy all the Metroids. Thank you. You see Ridley's armor shed there in that cutscene. He's actually going after Samus because this kicks off Super Metroid. He's going to go stop Samus at Ceres from delivering that, or he's going to go take the Metroid from Space Station Ceres. I think I pronounced that right. And there's the X-Parasite. The X-Parasite basically takes over a host. It finds a host, takes its memories, takes all of its knowledge, and kills its host while retaining the host's body. So that actually kickstarts fusion as well later on in the series. So this actually shows the purpose of Metroids. Hopefully I explained that well. I'm sorry I stumbled over my words. But once again, guys, thank you so much for having me. Peace out, and the rest of the marathon is going to be great. So once again, thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and end my live stream here. Y'all have a fantastic night.
Alright, great job, Willie. Fantastic, as I knew it would be. Alright, up next we're going to start our Star Wars blocks for May the 4th. So up next we have Star Wars Rogue Squadron with Rakanai, and yes, we did meet the incentive for that awesome chicken exhibition. So I hope you guys love chicken walkers, because we're going to be blowing up some stuff. And after that we have our Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith run. And there is a bid war out there for the good or bad ending. So if you want to see if Obi-Wan really has the high ground, definitely get in your donations for that one. We're still taking that. So right now we are currently at $319. Raise on Tiltify. And just as a reminder that if we hit $400 with our next incentive, and please ignore some parts of the marathon because we're swapping runs on the fly. But anyways, the next run that we have up for grabs is going to be the Barney's Hide and Seek. Any % no controller with Count Gooby.